Say hello to the 2025 Volvo EX90, the all-electric flagship SUV that redefines what a modern electric family SUV should be. What if a car could be more than just transportation? Well, this might just be the future of the electric safety family car you are looking for. Hello and welcome back to another episode of Auto Reviews 24. If you are into honest, clear and practical car reviews, then this video is for you. And today, I'm bringing you the all-electric, all-new 2025 Volvo EX90 right here in this plus trim and this beautiful platinum grey color. This Volvo EX90 is loaded with tech, safety, elegance and that Scandinavian design. So, the biggest question I'm here to help you answer is, in this growing market of electric SUVs, does EX90 has enough to stand out? So let us find out if this is the EV your family should be eyeing in 2025. Alright, so it's time for the exterior design. Right from the front of this car, the first impression is a typical Volvo design, the Scandinavian design, the Thor hammer style LED headlights here. But there is something very unique about this EX90. You see this Thor hammer daytime running lights? They are pretty cool, isn't it? But actually it opens up to reveal the LED headlamps behind these DRLs. This color here is the platinum grey color and it looks really darker grey. The front fascia, as you see, is very simple, straightforward, typical Volvo design which we are used to over past few decades. The front grille, as you see, it is closed because it's an all-electric vehicle, but the Volvo here in the front is very classic and simple. In fact, you have the front camera right there with the camera washer, so as you have the headlights with headlight washer. The lower bumper has active grille shutters. You see the subtle deep sculpted creases on the hood, which is really a DNA of Volvo and it looks really nice. In fact, you go slightly up and that's where you see that LiDAR sensor. That is for this car, which is not active right now, but it will be active and it may provide level 3 autonomous driving. This car does not have any fog lights, but the one which you see here is nothing but your daytime running lights and it is used as your turn signal as well. Over to the sides is where you see this massive 21-inch wheels, which are 265 by 45 tire profiles in this Michelin tires, and it looks really awesome. In fact, the dual tone finish alloy wheel here is looking really awesome and it goes well with this car's overall simple design language. This is how the overall side profile looks like, and it is very similar to the XC90, their hybrid gas powered version of this car. Now if you are wondering that will this EX90 replace the XC90 ever, the answer is no. They will continue both the cars as their separate offerings. This is their all electric take to it. In fact, this car is 3 inches longer than the XC90. This car here is 198.3 inches long. The ground clearance here is 8.5 inches. But guess what? This car also comes with standard air suspension and hence you can raise this car to 10 inches if you want. In fact, the air suspension in this car is super fast. See, as I mentioned, the air suspension is quite fast, isn't it? Now, if you see on the side, everything is very neat and clean design. Straight lines, more sculpted look, and it is very well proportionate in every which way. In fact, the rear of the car is where you see that massive window, which is also a typical Volvo design element. Now let us go closer to this and see what else we can find on the exterior design elements. Here is your blacked out side mirrors. Below the side mirror is where you have camera systems. You see is active for 360-degree camera, but this camera right here is used for that level 3 driving, which is not active right now. The side mirrors are edge to edge and it looks really classic in my opinion. The other thing I see here is the black accent across the window and it looks really classic, especially in this gray color. Alright, it's time for us to talk about the back of the car, and that's where you will see a typical Scandinavian design. The rear of this car in fact looks more handsome than the front. The rear tail lights are all LEDs. It does not have an LED light bar across the width. If they would have had it, then it would look certainly nice. The overall back of the car, as you see, is very simple, boxy design, sculpted trunk, as well as it looks very classic Volvo in its own way. I love the way this Volvo is spelled right in the center of this back, and it looks really classic and sophisticated. Very subtle badging in this car. The only badging you see back is this EX90 twin performance. That is nothing but this is the performance motors in this car, which produces 510 horsepower. The lower rear bumper of this car is also very simple and elegant. As you see, it is also having that black accent from the front. No exposed exhaust system because this is an all electric car. You have a rear camera right here with the washer as well as the rear wiper, which is very thick and standard. Also you have this brake lights and a spoiler, which is very prominent and looks nice with this overall look. Now it's time for us to look at the cargo space of this Volvo XC90 and see, is it worth like an XC90 or it is less than that. The rear trunk just opens by this leg gesture. As you see, it opened automatically and that's a great thing, power operated trunk. And here you go, this is the space behind the third row. As you see, it's not much. In fact, it is just 10.9 cubic feet. If you want to flat the third row, you have these power buttons over here, which you can use it right here as I'm doing it. While you flat the third row, it enables you 24 cubic feet of space, which is again decent, I would say, respectively. And when you fold the second row, which is a bench seat in this case, that will enable you 57 cubic feet of space, but almost 18 to 15 cubic feet less than its competitors. What else we have here is this buttons right here, because it comes standard with the air suspension. By using this, the car can lower to your adjustment, and it is very handy when you want to put some heavy items on this trunk. Alright, so $1,000,000 question. Does it have a frunk in this EX90? Let's check it out. Yes, you do have a front trunk. That is great. In fact, this is roughly around 2 cubic feet space. You have got some very neatly designed closed trunk. Alright, so now it's time for us to get inside this car and check out the interior of this EX90. Let us start from the keys first, which is a very interesting choice in this EX90. It comes with two keys. This is a key fob right here with a card, and you can also use a key which is something like this. As you see, no buttons. It is just a sensor inside this, which you use it on the left side of the driver handle, and that's how it kind of opens it up. In fact, I'm going to use this key for now. As you see, it just opened up, and then you just pick this handle to get inside this car and step inside this Volvo, and you will see the serenity and the luxurious touches, open hood feel and everything of Volvo. Alright, so now I'm inside the Volvo EX90, and as you see, the dashboard design and everything is typical Volvo. Let's start from the driver's door panel first. The driver door panel, as you see, is very simply designed. I love every material choices what Volvo has made in this. Everything is vegan leather, no real leather in this car at all, but everything is soft touch finish. Again, soft touch leather finish here. You can even go with 25 speaker Bose and Wilkins in this top tier Ultra, but in this you get Bose, which also sounds very nice. You have got open hood real trim, which is really luxurious. Some chrome or metal touch here. The door pocket here are also quite deep and wide. You have this plastic trim here, which is hard, but it looks nice. I love this interesting touch here with this chrome as well as speaker grill. Overall, everything looks neat and tidy in this door handle, but one thing which I am not sure why did Volvo went with that choice is, you see this button system here. These switches are one touch up for all the power windows, but you don't see 4 switches, right? You only see 2 switches. That's right. I don't know for what cost cutting measures, but they went with 2 switches, so you actually use these buttons here to switch between the back and the front windows, and then use these buttons to kind of bring that window glass down. But everything is simplified. So does this driver seat here. You see this knob, this pretty much covers 10 to 12 way adjustable driver seat, and everything is integrated in this square button, which is a very neat design. Generally you see all the manufacturers with 3-4 buttons here. This Volvo EX90 is minimalist in its own way. Everything is simple and very straightforward. In fact, it has taken a lot of cue from the Tesla, where every controls you want to make, it's all integrated in this front massive infotainment screen. This is the 14.5 inch infotainment screen, and so does you have this very neat and clean 9-inch driver's display. I love this display. It is really crisp and clear, and it is helpful. It also has this option of navigation. As you see in front of you, on your right you will see the gears, everything. On your left is where you can actually change the view with this button right here. When I change it, it is minimalist in this view, it is even minimalist in this where it's only showing the speedometer, and again back to the navigation screen as well. The steering wheel here is awesome. Again, simple Volvo design, thick bolstering, soft touch material over here with stitching, chrome finish here as well. Now the car does not have any start stop button, so all you do is get inside the car, put the feet on the brake, and then you just use this torque to put it in drive, and there you go. The car also comes with heads up display, and the overall dashboard here is very soft and elegant. And look at this very fine touch here, this black fabric as well as this open pore hood with this chrome finish looks elegant and sophisticated. In fact, these AC vents are also slim. Under the center console is where you have this open space. You can use it for storage. It is really neatly designed. You even have two USB-C ports over here. The center infotainment screen here is very zippy, simple and easy to use. In fact, this operating system is completely based on Google, and everything is Google operated. So you have your Google assistants as well as some shortcut buttons, which is very handy for operating this car's menu. As I told you, everything is operated from this infotainment screen. So we'll start with some features. This is your home button, which will bring you to this navigation screen. Everything about the charging stations and everything, you can find it on the screen itself. On your right is where you have this button, which is your shortcut for everything you want to do in this car. As you see, lights, driver side mirror adjustment, trunk opening, glove box, rain sensitive. In fact, glove box is how you can open like this, and the glove box is quite deep and also very neatly designed. But again, I wish they would have given some physical knob there. Overall, everything needs to be operated from the screen. Even the settings here will give you every detailing about the driving modes, the status of this car, the tire pressure, and everything is on the screen. You can go back to the home button. This is where you will get into all the apps and menus. You can even use Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. It is wireless, and that's what you need. The HVAC system is also integrated in the screen, which sometimes is distracting, but this is how you actually use your HVAC system. You open this up, and that's where you see typical controls, what you see it in Rivian cars, Tesla cars. You can adjust the flow of the air. You can also use this button for your car seats, heated and ventilated features. Now let's talk about the center console. The center console again is very minimalist. As you see, here is where you see a wireless charger. You can also place the key here to charge it when you are not using it. You have this typical open wood finish here, cup holders which are decent but not adjustable. You have this cover which can also close, and it looks really nice. You have this knob here which is only good for play pause of your music. I wish they would have added more controls to it. Now the center armrest here is very soft and comfortable. That's good. The storage space under the center console is decent size. You do not have any USB-Cs, but you do have some light inside. Now the headliner here is very simple and classic. I love this black headliner. It does not have any Alcantara finish, but it still looks rich. Overall, the button system here is also very simple. As you see, some SOS system, but it does not have open sunroof, so there is no button to open it. The sun visor here is also quite big and wide with integrated lights. Looks nice. The rear view mirror is also decent size, though it does not have any digital camera system, which they could have easily given. You also have this massive panoramic sunroof, which is all glass and it does not open. Alright, so let's talk about the seats. And the seat looks really nice. I love this headrest. Again, if you would have gone with Bowers and Wilkinson's, you will have speakers in your headrest, the Scandinavian flag here, as well as the overall fit and finish of these front seats are really awesome. Decent size bolstering, some stitching and some design elements there, and the entire seats are soft. It is not perforated, but it does have that heated and ventilated features. Alright, so now it's time for us to check out the second and third row of this EX90. First of all, the door panel here, again as simple and classic with high quality materials like the front doors. Everything looks neat and clean. They do not have any sun visors for the second passengers. That's one miss, I would say. Overall, as you see, the second row here are the bench system here, but it also comes with captain chairs if you want. So this car offers you 6-seat options or 7-seat options. Now let us get inside and see how much space do we have. The back seat is quite roomy. In fact, the front legroom is almost 40 inches. As you see, I am 5'8" and I can easily sit with a lot of ample space in front of my knees. Also, the seats are quite high from the floor, so I can tuck my feet under the front chairs easily. You have some storage pockets over here. The center console for the second row also has some digital touch controls for your AC vents. The AC vents are also looking nice and clean. You have two USB-Cs but no household power socket here as well. The floor is entirely flat and it is good for the second row passengers. Now the overall headroom of this is also nice. I am 5'8" and as you see I have enough space over my head thanks to this panoramic sunroof. Some neat features for second row passengers: you have this coat hanger as well as LED lights. The AC vents for the second row passenger is on this B pillar. It is big and wide and it helps in getting good air. So one thing which Volvo does good is giving this booster seats no matter which model you choose, and this is how you operate it, and it is very simple and easy to use and a handy feature for families with kids. Alright, so to get in this third row of EX90 you have two buttons, one right there as well as one over here, and when you open this, the car seat actually tumbles in front as you see, and this opens up for the path to go to the third row, but there is no dedicated footrest for going into the third row. And as you see from this, it does not have enough space for adults for a long journey, but let us check it out. Alright, so now I'm on the third row and as you see how cramped I am. I have hardly any space for my knees, but the seats are quite high from the floor, so I have tucked my feet under the second row. But I would certainly say this is only for kids, not for adults for sure. What do we have here for third passengers? You have your own AC vent, which is good, a big D pillar with this window which helps some light inside for the third row passengers. You even have some USB-C as well as cup holders, but no heated seats or anything else over here. So that's pretty much it for the third row. It's certainly for kids. Alright, so let us talk about some specifications of this Volvo EX90. This comes in two different powertrains. Both are dual motor. The base model comes with 402 horsepower and 500 pound-feet of torque roughly. This one right here, what we have today, is the twin power performance, and it produces 510 horsepower and 671 pound-feet of torque. Now that's healthy numbers. It is powered by 111 kilowatt hour battery. It gives you 300 miles, 500 kilometers of range. It has 250 kilowatt DC fast charging, and you can go from 10% to 80% in about 30 minutes. It also comes with 11 kilowatt hour onboard charging, which is AC, and that can take up to 10 hours for you to charge this battery fully. 0 to 100 for this car is under 5 seconds, but if you go for the base model, it is 5.7 seconds. So enough specifications of this EV. Now let us take this car for a spin and understand, is this Scandinavian car perfect for even driving like a BMW, and also understand how quiet it is. Alright, so it's time for us to take this Volvo EX90 on a drive and let us check about the driving impressions of this EX90, how smooth, quite comfortable it is. Alright, so it's time for us to take this EX90 on the drive. Let's start and check how good it is in this parking lot, and then we'll go on the mainstream road. Everything is reachable from the driver's position, which is good. In fact, I really love this small 9-inch screen in front of you. It is very close, so it is giving you a very crisp and clear view. As soon as I've started driving this car, the one thing which I've realized is how quite comfortable it is in this. The outside road noise is almost zero. I mean, that's a level of precision and noise reduction which Volvo has done in this EX90. I mean, I can't explain you with words because you need to feel it, how quiet it is inside this car. And on this main road as well, there is very minimal road noise. The suspension is very soft. The turning radius of this car was also decent, and the A-pillar here is quite big, but overall the visibility is very nice. You don't get any blind spot. Over the center touchscreen is very big, clean and bright, and I must say the navigation is easy to understand at glance. But the thing is, everything you need to do it from the screen at times does take your eyes away from the road, which I would say in Volvo's safety point of view, not a great choice. The car handling is very agile and fast. As soon as I accelerate it, the car goes really fast, 0 to 100 in roughly 5 seconds, and that is a good speed. And that's the beauty of driving an electric car. Always fun to drive. The car handling, the comfort, the overall confidence it is giving is top notch. In fact, the braking is very soft and gives you enough feedback for you to be confident while braking hard in low and high speeds. The windshield here is also acoustic as well as the side windows, so the overall noise level is certainly less. I can go ahead and say on record that this EX90 is even better when it comes to driving than the XC90. The steering is very precise and soft when you turn into sports mode. It does stiffen up, which was a good sign, which I did a while back. Well, that's about it. I mean, I would summarize this car's driving experience in three words, which is quiet, comfortable, and confident. Alright then, after spending some quality time with this EX90, it's time for our final thoughts. So if you are in the market for Tesla's Model X, Mercedes EQS alternative, then this Volvo EX90 deserves a long and hard look if you value safety, practicality and sustainability. For families looking into electric SUV without compromising space, comfort and styling, then this Volvo EX90 is a compelling option. The range is solid, performance is adequate and the interior is luxurious. So, are there any downside? Yes. Heavy reliance on the touchscreen for pretty much every controls you need in this car, especially this is tech heavy, it's a drawback. Plus, the higher trim, the Ultra, is way more pricier comparatively. And a little bit of 50 kilometers or more range would have certainly make this car very appealing. So, is this Volvo EX90 perfect electric SUV for your family? Well, this is a silent revolution and you can feel it. And it's clear that the future of electric family car is in good hands. Well, that's all from my side for this Volvo EX90. Please don't forget to like and subscribe my channel if you are into honest car reviews. That's all from my side and see you all in the next one.